What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Starcraft Broodwar replay from the ladder. Over here in the top left-hand corner today, we've got Mihu. And down in the bottom right, it's Soma. This is going to be a Soma series. A continuation of what we started in the last video. If you guys missed out on that last video, do not sleep on it. That Soma versus Rush series was one of the better ladder replays I've ever cast. That was such a good video, guys. Do not miss it. Really, really fun. Maybe one of the best replay casts I've done this year. Cannot talk highly enough about it, but we're going to continue on with this series. Hopefully, we get some good games here as well. We got Mihu to start off, of course. The Chinese Terran player. Looks like they're having a little back and forth there, trying to communicate. I don't think that Mihu speaks Korean. Maybe he knows a little bit. But, gonna be hard to communicate between these two for sure. Let's see how their play interacts. I'm curious what this Chinese player can do against the best player in the world. There's always a chance that he could take him down in a best of one, of course, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. Guys, I want to give a shout out quickly here as we're getting into this game. To everybody who signed up for a membership on the channel, thank you so much. I talked about it a bit, saying how YouTube was giving me an opportunity to make some extra money, giving me like a bonus for each of you guys who signed up, plus a bonus for opening memberships. And I just got that bonus today. It was about $400. So huge shout out to you guys for helping me to make that happen. Helping me to keep this thing going, keep this channel going, and helping me to justify spending this much time on Brood War. Oh my god. Okay. Nice pull away there. Gonna be keeping that drone alive. And this little Naked Marine move out, not gonna work out too well for Mihu. Almost got a drone there. If you got that drone, it's all worth it. 100%. You take 2 Marine losses for 1 drone kill in the early game every single time. And look at that. Factory on the way. It appears like Mihu is planning a Valkyrie build here. Let's see if he's able to pull it off. Might make some vultures too. We've seen a lot of players put that add-on on. Get 3 vultures and go for speed. Got to get a little run by going right around 6 minutes. That's a pretty strong way to play. And it's even stronger considering there's no overlord over the natural here just yet. You can slip those vultures out and your opponent might not even know about it. On this map, with the Sunken Colony being there, you might have a pretty easy time slipping directly past into the main base. We'll see if that's in the cards. Doesn't really seem like it. No add-on, no vulture being made. Just going to prioritize an eBay here, most likely. Oh, Armory on the way. Oh, yeah, right. As soon as I saw the Armory, I thought Goliath, but yeah, you need that for the Valkyrie too. What am I thinking? eBay. There it is. So he's going to be focusing on getting out these turrets. Getting a Valkyrie as soon as possible. And not skipping on his barracks production either. You can see he's getting a double barracks here behind this. And of course, already has that academy done. Actually, it feels a little bit out of order with the way this build. I don't know. I feel like usually you would get the factory, then the starport, then the armory, then the eBay, then the academy after, because, you know, the Marines aren't not going to be that powerful, and there's not going to be very many of them either right at the beginning of the game. But I mean, he's got some Marines now. He's got some medics as well. The mutas are coming. Let's see if this all works out for him, because I feel like the build is a little bit out of sorts, a little bit out of order. But I'm not a Terran player. I've just seen this build a lot recently. Third base going up for Soma over here in the corner. We've got the third hatchery as well in the main base. That 2.5 hatchery build. is going to be kicking in here. And you can see drones are being made right now. Hydroden as well. So he sees that there's going to be Mutas popping out with that little poke. Or excuse me, Valkyries are going to be popping out when he poked in there. The moment he saw that Valkyries are coming, throws down a Hydroden exactly as he should. Muta's going to be poking in again, but immediately going to be working on that with his Valkyrie. That was some very good control from Mihu. Pulling the Valkyrie down as the Mutalisk came in to make sure that they weren't able to just immediately shoot that out of the sky. And now he's got 2 Valkyries out here. Very dangerous to go and kill this Overlord right now. There could be Scourge making their way forward. And in fact, there were 2 pairs of Scourge coming. They just weren't quite there yet. So that was a pretty scary move for someone to be making at that moment. Now, I hope he doesn't try to take a shot at these Mutas initially, because immediately Soma will go for this. Oh, yeah, you can see he's trying for it. Yeah, one of those Valkyries goes down. Yeah, see, cannot be too aggressive with these Valkyries when there's Scourge in the stack. And he loses one of those Valkyries immediately. Very good play from Soma, managing to get those connections. It can be difficult to make the Scourge connect, but you can see the level of professionalism here with the Mutalisk and Scourge Micro is really, it's unmatched. Even they catch some of these Marines coming across the map. Marine count still not that high and not covered by Valkyries here. In fact, the Valkyries were a little bit too far ahead. It looks like one of those will go down immediately. Bit of a sloppy move out here by Mihu. Means that his army is going to get completely cleaned up. Got to keep those things balled up. You got to keep the Marines balled up. You got to keep the Valkyries on top of the Marines so that they can fight as the Mutalisks come in. And everything just kind of going wrong here for Mihu. Although he's not out of this game, he's definitely handed a pretty big advantage over to Soma, who's going to definitely roll with it. Queen's Nest finishing up now. And what looks like a full mech transition going to be underway for Mihu shortly. He does need to take some control on the map, though, first, so that he can get that double expansion going. But for now, getting some vultures out with the speed. You can do things like run by into this 3rd base. You can just run straight up the ramp directly past the lurkers. And sometimes the lurker spines will not connect perfectly. A lot of times you'll be able to just run straight by, kill a few drones. And there's not really a whole lot that the Zerg player can do about it. Let's see if we can get over there and do something like that now. Vultures are going to slip out here. Still 3 Valkyries are active. Lurkers out in the middle. That could be a real problem. These are going to be on hold position. You can see he's getting in place to potentially block this with the Mutas. Yeah, he's only got 5 Mutas. Okay, he's going to lose some drones for sure. This is a good move by Mihu. And, okay, only 1 drone. I thought he would get more. It's a little bit rough. Marines and Valkyrie's going to make their way over here, but Lurker on the high ground is annoying. Can he actually kill that? Oof, that was a very nice spine there in the middle of everything. Is it almost time to lift off? I mean, you still need a little bit more map control here, I feel. Mihu, get this 3rd base up. Take a little bit more map control so you can get a 4th. I just don't think he can stop making Marines yet. He will start to produce some factories, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get this full mech transition underway with the position that he has at the moment. Okay, these lurkers. Hold position. Is he going to walk into it? Moving into the middle of the map. If he loses this whole bio ball, I don't think this mech transition is going to end up working. I think it's going to fall flat. Catching some lings. Sees a little bit of lurker over on this side. As he backs up, will he wander into this landmine over here? There should be a vessel coming out. In fact, there is one here at the natural. SCV sent to bottom left. So he actually wants to take the high ground over here at the bottom left. Try to get a CC over there. Maybe set up some... Oh gosh. Okay, these weren't on hold position, so he only loses 3 Marines. He almost walked directly into that. That could have been really bad. He could have ended up losing the entire bio ball there. But Soma did not have that on hold position. He's got some lurkers all around. A little bit too afraid to move out with those Valkyries and potentially get them sniped. Got 3 of them back home right now. They're going to be useful if there's some sort of Mutalisk transition a little bit later on. We've got upgrades now. Double upgrades coming here for our Terran player. So that mech army is starting to grow in power. One more lurker. Probably going to get picked off. No, it does manage to run back and get into a safe position. No armor here just yet, but drop is on the way, interestingly enough. Gonna go for drop tech this game. Oh, can he kill those? Very nice target fire there on the Scourge, getting rid of both of them so the vessels can continue to irradiate. Try to force at least more lurkers out of Soma right now because he is growing like crazy. He's really getting big with the double upgrade. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. He's got such great vision around the map as well. Take a look at it here. He's just got a lot of points to potentially catch things like drops sliding in. Same thing goes for Mihu. He has a lot of great vision on the map as well. He's now got his floating barracks out there as the full mech transition is starting to kick off. CC in the bottom left is pretty far away from everything. But we'll see. We'll see if he can hold that base down there. Maybe he can get a factory over here, start building some tanks. More and more mines being thrown out on the map. And this 4th gas has been taken. It will be begin to be consumed here in a moment as those drones get to work. Another gas going to come up here soon as well. Lurker's doing a great job, but 2 vultures make it in here to this base and will cause a little bit of harassment, a little bit of an annoyance here for someone to deal with. That's unfortunate. He loses both of the Valkyries, I believe, just now. And with both Valkyries going down, the drop play can actually come into effect. And we may end up seeing a lot of drops come down here soon. Moving forward here. Oh my gosh. Does manage to save both the science vessels again. Dark Swarm on the high ground with the lurker, but hey, he did manage to irradiate through all of that. Tank's gonna set up here on the low ground. He would really like to break this location, not allow another base to come up already. I think these 2 science vessels are going to end up dead. Okay, just one, and the Valkyrie goes down. That's all right, I guess. Another lurker ends up falling there. And now that the Valkyries are all gone, the Mutas are going to have a bit of utility. Can throw out one more Radiate. I think a Radiate right here would be fantastic. Get rid of that lurker. If he manages to get rid of that lurker, then he can just come up this ramp with the Marines and Goliaths, try to push up onto this area. Here comes the Defiler, though. And with the Defiler in place, is going to be able to hold on for now. Finally, an Overlord heads to bottom left, which means that he does spot this base. He sees the factories coming up down here, in addition to another CC. That's quite a few tanks, kind of threatening at the moment. Not really sure what these 2 Overlords are doing. They don't have anything inside of them. Queens are starting to be produced. Bit of a late transition into Queens, honestly. You want to make the Queens in that downtime when the Terran player is transitioning. Usually not. Okay, maybe he's had them around for a little bit longer than I thought. There's not that much energy on these. They don't have any kills. There's only 1 with a kill so far. Yeah, usually you want to do it before the Terran is at your front door, hitting your hatcheries and threatening your bases with tanks. But better late than never. Here we go. Some drops finally going to be coming in here. Actual drops with real units inside of them. All lings, though. Just pure lings, which means vultures will be very good at clearing all that up. It looks like he's going to drop down here or over here and then run down into that base. At the same time, the first round of ultras is coming out. +4 armor on these. But heading out into mines and tanks, maybe not the best. Let's see, is he able to lay down some mines that can actually hit some of these tanks as they push forward, some of these ultras as they push forward. Looks like a few more of these tanks have been taken out, potentially by queens. No, looks like more by drops and lings running up on top of this stuff. That was a great mine connection there. Getting a lot of damage on these ultras. You can see how good mines are against this. Really lighting up a lot of that ultraless health. Getting rid of that. Softening them up for a little bit later. Some mutas here. Doing a bit of work. Clearing out a few tanks. Slowly but surely taking map control away from Mihu, who was banging on the door for quite some time. Now he's all the way back. He's been pushed all the way back. This drop still hasn't been activated yet, but that's fine. Just waiting for the proper moment when there's a lot of chaos going on to suddenly send that in and give Mihu another headache to deal with. This Overlord will end up going down, and this base is going to be attempted to be taken by Soma, but you know, if he takes this base and Mihu gets this base, then it's still a dead split map situation, which will eventually favor Mihu. So he's actually got to take a little bit more than that, maybe break some of these bases. Don't think this Ling attack's going to break everything here, but maybe kill some Marines, maybe kill a tank. There it is. Pushing up towards top center. Looks like that can be blocked. That attack can be blocked. Oh, is he going to be able to unload? One Defiler manages to unload. That's not really going to work. There was 3 whole Overlords full of units, and these missile turrets right here actually stopped everything. That was a pretty good move by Mihu, and a pretty bad move by Soma, losing all those units and not breaking the top or the bottom left at all, while the top center is kind of being smashed. Let's see, with all these queens coming up, I think all the tanks will be dealt with at least, which is pretty good. Making some good use out of these units. But still growing here, and 3-2 is now done. 3-2 just kicked in. That's going to make things a lot harder for the Zerg player. Ultras coming up here from the south, actually going to kill a bunch of these tanks. Getting right in on top of that is pretty darn good. But this base is still under threat, and I'm not sure if he can get either of these. Ultras being loaded up right now. Possibly to be sent in behind here, maybe back here. I'm not really sure. Another group of Lings sent into this base again. Let's see if that can get some more SCV damage. He's actually killed quite a few SCVs, down to just 60, which is really not bad. 55 now. This is some pretty decent damage, considering how low commitment this is, just sending in a group of Lings. These 2 Ultras here are going to be hard to deal with as he pushes up towards the top center. Still trying to break this base. I feel like Mihu is slamming his head against the wall while Soma's just surgically dissecting the different bases here of Mihu, just not allowing him to continue mining efficiently. 54 workers left now. Army hitting both locations and actually breaking the center left. Still quite a bit of minerals left over there. He needs to reclaim that base. And there's just chaos absolutely everywhere. And that's exactly how you want to keep the game as a Zerg player going into Ultralisk. You want to keep it chaotic. You don't want to allow big tank lines to be set up that can just deny Ultras completely from really doing any damage. You want to be constantly keeping the Terran player back and picking off tanks here and there. Oh, this is a pretty sneaky drop. Was trying to slide right through into the main, but good irradiates here are going to shut this down. Lings try to come up here, start to kill some SCVs, but it looks like everything will be killed. Did manage to get one plague down at the end of that fight, though. Not too bad. Getting a plague out there is nice. Down to just 119 supply. Oh my gosh. Really on the ropes here, Mihu. So far behind in supply. It's hard to imagine him actually taking this game now. Big drops are heading out on the map. Going to be looking for any little hole, any little weakness in the mech defense. You can see this natural is looking a little bit light when it comes to defenses. Here we go. Oh my gosh, he's going to lose some vessels for sure. Irradiate's going down on a lot of this, but the drop right on top of the mech army is pretty sick, along with those broodlings. That was a good move. Damn, what a good move there by Soma. Taking a bad situation where the drop was kind of getting denied and just turning it into a great fight. Now, these ultras probably not going to get too much done over here with the +3 tanks just raining down on them. However, the main is looking a little bit overrun. Like, I don't think he can hold on to this. And as soon as that starts to go down, the game will end very quickly. Lings and Ultras getting up here onto the high ground, killing off the factories, getting on top of the tanks as they're popping out of the factories. It's very hard to stabilize in a situation like this because Soma is just everywhere. Look at the whole map right now. Sauron Zerg sending out units all over the place, sending in the Ultras, the Lings, the Queens coming in clutch as well, killing off tanks, and GG, of course, has been called. Great game, honestly. Pretty solid game. We got to see Soma in his full power level, cranking off of all of these hatcheries and just swarming the entirety of the map. Mihu managed to get into 3-3 mech, but it's still not quite good enough. Even with, you know, almost splitting half the map, how quickly can things fall apart when very poignant, very targeted drops start to land and just create chaos all over the map that's hard to deal with these slow meching units. Let's jump into our next game, guys. We've got more Soma to watch. Let's get it. All right, guys, up next, we've got a Wiko Protoss player going up against Soma. Just the classic, lots of chatter back and forth. I don't know what they're even talking about. Am I gonna look it up? It's a Wiko player. It's probably some trash talk. Maybe. Could be that they are friendly on friendly terms. The name of this guy apparently is One Jaja. I really haven't heard of him. Unless I casted one of his games before and I just don't remember. But I've heard this is a pretty good game, a pretty wacky game. I think it should be fun to just take a look at. I don't know. They're talking about UFC. What? I have no idea. I have no idea, guys. Well, let's just focus on Broodwar for now. Wiko Protoss. He's going to be sending a zealot across the map. You know what? I will check this out. I will see this. Check the comments, guys. Check the pinned comment. Or the pinned comment. I'll try to put translation. I'm sorry if I forget, but I will try to find this and put a full script translated by AI, probably by Grok, down in the comments. I'm sure there's some wackiness going on there. Might be fun to take a look at. Here on Radeon, looks like Wiko one Jaja going to be taking the Nexus here after his first Zealot. And so, I mean, this is a little scary. You're going to be holding a space tile set ramp with just a probe and a Zealot. And definitely Lings will end up getting in here. Soma is just a little bit too sly with his Ling control. Oh, he made a mistake. One Ling is so much worse than two Lings. One Ling does so much less damage than two. If he's able to keep those alive, keep them running around in the main, get the health back up, then you can come in and start hitting some of these probes. You kill the probes so much faster, gives so much less time for the Protoss player to respond. But now he's just got one probe chasing this, and it looks like eventually will kill that. Zealot's here at the front. He had to make so many more Lings to be able to stop this because of those early Ling losses. Having a bit of a hard time. That was a nice pull with the probe. Again, very nice pull with the probe, making sure that that doesn't get targeted down and that maybe it can do a little bit more lifting, heavy lifting, when it comes to the upcoming fight. Adding on that DPS. Zealots now going to turn around and start to head back home because there's a lot of Lings out. This is already damage. You just look at this number of Lings. You've already done the damage. If you can make the Zealots run back home, if you can get them back home, then you're feeling fantastic here as a Protoss player. Oh, yo. Okay, almost lost that Zealot. Almost got the full surround there. Looks like that Zealot may end up going down, but this is a really nice wall of Zealots preventing any of these Lings from coming forward. And just like that, he does, in fact, make it back home after forcing all of these Lings. This is a great start for the Protoss player. We'll see if he's able to overcome Soma in this game. Oh my gosh, he's going to get the probe in. He's going to get the probe in. You've got to be kidding me. Hydra Den. It will be scouted. Oh, Zealot might go down. Not quite. Not quite getting taken out. And so, with everything going this Wiko player's way, can he still win? Can he actually win? Close this game versus someone. Like, so many things have gone in his favor. We had the initial Lings. Most of them get killed on the ramp, and only, you know, 2 get in. 1 die immediately, and the other not get any damage. A huge force of Lings had to be produced afterwards in order to shove these Zealots back, which killed no Zealots. The probe got in and scouted the Hydraless Den. And so any sort of Hydra follow-up is going to be well prepared for here by our Protoss. But still, this is Soma we're talking about. This is Soma we're talking about. He is a scary, scary man. He is a frightening individual. When it comes to ZVP, he does it better than anybody else in the world. And so, still, every moment that goes by, Soma's going to be looking for ways to get back into this game. He's going to be analyzing his opponent's play and looking for those little opportunities. Zealot out on the map here. It's going to slip around the side. It's actually avoided the ire of these Lings and may wind up in this third base. May wind up harassing these drones, which would be very frustrating considering you've got this many Lings out in the front and an Overlord. You're not going to be expecting a single Zealot to be walking into your base. More cannons being added on. He has to do this because he saw the Hydraless Den. Really no choice about it. Triple sunken colony over here. Interesting. A lot of sunken colonies going down right now. And the Spire is not even halfway complete. He doesn't have a single Hydra. What am I looking at right now? That's interesting. So many sunkens. So many sunkens. What the heck? That really messes up his mining, actually. How funny is that? That really messes up the mining on these 2 top patches. Look at how far he has to go. Poor drone. And look at how many Overlords are just completely vulnerable here in the natural now that the Corsairs are out. I think he didn't realize that Corsairs were being made because the Stargate was made here. No, he must have seen it, right? Maybe he just barely doesn't see it from here. Oh, okay. I think I understand now. He was expecting a Zealot all in. He was expecting just a ton of Zealots, and of course there are a ton of Zealots, but he was not expecting a Corsair as well, which makes sense. He had the Overlord here in the main, and he didn't see the Corsair initially. Now there's Hydras out, though, and mutas are being made. Was this 6 sunken colony strategy, 3 here and 3 at the natural, was that the right choice? It seems like it was. Just shuts down the Zealot attack, and now can transition into mutas. Of course, his economy has taken a bit of a hit to make all this happen. To get all these sunken colonies out was quite an expense. But it allows him now to put on pressure with mutas, and the Zealots can't really do anything right now. They're not really able to, you know, dive on any of these bases. If he tries to dive, maybe he could kill this hatchery from the edge. That's possible. It's potential. But if he tries to dive into any of these bases, he's going to get shut down. Triple sunken colony with a few Hydras and the mutas coming back will just shut this out. Got Zealots around the map looking for additional hatcheries coming down. That's not going to be the case for now. Oh, there's actually a drone out here. That's funny. Looks like that drone might live. Nice move. Nice move. Gotta get rid of this Zealot, though. Did you not see that? Oh, I guess he didn't see that. That's unfortunate. This drone might go up there and then die, which would be pretty sad in a case like this. So much chatter between these two. Seriously. I don't know what they're talking about. Corsair does wind up falling there. Doesn't even have +1 armor, so a little bit surprised that with 6 Corsairs, he wasn't able to kill 1 pair of Scourge. There's definitely an art to Scourge control. An art that I have yet to master. That is for sure. But that Soma does very, very well. That was a pretty good preemptive storm there. Met with a question mark in the chat by Soma. Definitely having a bit of fun right now. Oh, this drone. It actually did live, but it wasn't able to start the 4th base, which is a problem right now. He's transitioning into Hive as the 3rd base comes up for Wiko. 1 Jaja. Time to take that 4th. He actually needs it started here minutes ago, but he's going to go ahead and get it now. Look at all the creep colonies coming up. He's just going to make mass sunken. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny little style here that we're witnessing today from Soma. Look at all the sunken colonies, man. Just building so many sunkens. Maybe he's played this guy a lot, and he knows exactly what he does. Like, he just knows that there's going to be a timing of Zealots, and then he knows that there's going to be like 1 big push off of 3 base, and if he survives that, then he just knows that he's going to win. Something like that. I wonder. Taking a look at the upgrades here, just the +1 done on these Hydralisks and Lurkers. 1-1 is finished for the Zealots. +1 upgrade on air here, and +1 armor is about to be done for Zerg air. Triple upgrade is rolling now. Did go for a 2nd Stargate. That's interesting. It's kind of a late 2nd Stargate, I think. But he's really worried about the Mutalisks, for sure. I mean, it's a valid concern to have when you're playing up against someone the caliber of Soma. That's a nice storm. Just get rid of some of those Scourge. Makes the Corsairs much more effective. Scouts the 4th base. Can't really allow this 4th base to come up when he doesn't even have a 4th of his own. Sound like 1 or 2, or maybe 3 Corsairs wind up going down there. That's a little bit rough. Like, these Corsairs have really not done well, considering how many he invested into, plus the double Stargate. Soma's for sure outdoing him when it comes to Scourge. Kind of beautiful, honestly, to watch how Soma dismantles lesser players, like players who are not pro players. Just has a... such a great way of slowly banking advantages. Banking advantages and banking advantages and just finding ways to constantly make it hard for the Protoss. There you go. Takes out both of the observers. Now this push just does nothing. This push is dead in the water already. Doesn't matter if he has overwhelming forces because he doesn't have vision. He knew exactly what he needed to stop that attack so that he can buy some time for more Sunkens, more lurkers, and the Wiko player he doesn't have much going on. Hatchery over here in the top right-hand corner. I'm not sure what that's all about, but he's gonna cannon rush that, I guess. Maybe just send some zealots, dragoons over there to deal with that. Bit of a cheeky play. But you can see that Soma's not really serious. He's just having a little bit of fun right now, I think, with this Wiko. He's going to allow him to potentially take this base in the top right. But he's going to make so many Sunkens and so much defenses that Wiko can never beat him. Can never take a fight at one of these bases and actually win. And so the only option available to him is just to continue to grow, just continue to get bigger. And that's fine. That's suitable for Soma because once he becomes massive, once he gets all his upgrades online, he knows that he is personally kind of unbeatable. He's just better. And so he should be able to take the game at the late stages. I'm sure he's very confident about that. Gonna come in, kill some of these cannons, open up the position for some harassment. That hatchery has finally gone down. These mutas will fly out. But he's just testing the waters here, just checking, seeing what's vulnerable on the side of Wiko. 62 drones, lots of income right now, adding on Nidus canals and just waiting on upgrades for the time being while looking for potential. Oh, he actually killed the probe up here. He got the probe so that the next base couldn't be thrown down immediately. Ooh. All right, those mutas go down very quickly. Scourge, not going to find their connections either. Lings here looks like we'll be stopping a potential Nexus from coming down. I don't know what he's thinking, trying to take that base. I really doubt that that base will end up going up. +2/+2 is done here for the Protoss. 1-1 is finished as well. Ooh, huge drop potentially coming up here. That is interesting. Base over in the top left is going to be taken. I understand. The sunken colonies are to buy time when the drop comes in, or when the drop goes into the Protoss base. He wants to have huge rounds of units, or a huge defensive wall, excuse me, to just prevent the Protoss player from counterattacking him. And so he is going to come in here, kill off some of these sunken colonies. They go down very quickly. But of course, there will be defilers popping out here shortly with their upgrades as well. Wait, now drop is on? Wait, I thought we already had drop. Didn't I hear drop? Or was that a Nidus? I definitely saw drop getting research before. This is very weird to me. I'm not really sure what's going on right now. I guess he canceled drop and went through the Nidus, and that's what I heard. Really thought that I heard something loading up. And I definitely saw that upgrade in the production tab earlier, right? Or was that in the last game, maybe? Maybe I'm getting mixed up, guys. I cast a lot of games. A lot of them that you guys don't even see. Because they're not good enough for whatever reason, or they ended too abruptly or something like that. I end up casting some of those games, and then they just go by the wayside. You guys generally get kind of the best of the best, or the best of what I can find on whatever day. This push is looking pretty good. I mean, eventually there is going to be a surround coming up, though, I think. Sunken colonies cannot hit under Dark Swarm, so anything that comes forward right now and gets under this Dark Swarm can actually hit the Sunken Colonies for free. Lurkers coming up from behind. Dark Swarm here. Gonna try and get rid of these High Templar as quickly as possible. Does target that down successfully. Getting rid of those High Templar right now is going to help him to clear this with Lings and Lurkers. Managed to save the majority of the drones. So this push really didn't do what it was meant to. It didn't really break anything, aside from killing one hatchery here and a bunch of Sunken Colonies. Not really getting much work done. Now drop play is done. He's even getting his antennae upgrade. That's an upgrade that I only make by mistake. I actually need to change the hotkey for that thing, because every once in a while I accidentally make it. But I believe he's taking that intentionally. He's actually getting like every upgrade in the game at the moment. Surprised he hasn't gone Greater Spire yet to start harassing with Guardians and stuff. Coming down onto the low ground, it's a little bit dangerous right now. There's a lot of Protoss. He comes down on the low ground too early, and it looks like this is too early. He could end up getting broken on the high ground. He's got to pop some units through right now and save this base. If all those Lurkers were up on the high ground, it would buy him a lot of time, but unfortunately, they came down at the wrong moment. Such has also happened to me in the past as well. And it can start to spiral out of control. There's a good plague. Hitting a lot of these Dragoons. More Lings coming up from behind. They must have 2/2 by now. They do. +3 attack on these Hydras as well. 3/3 and 2 shield upgrades as well. So both players getting into their late game upgrades. Finally, Reavers are being made as well with the addition of the shuttle speed. That's going to become quite the threat. The army has been dealt with, though. The army has been killed off. Reavers coming up now. Ooh, I don't see any Scourge here. Oh, what was this? DT? High Templar back there? I'm not really sure. 60 drones remaining. This Reaver push is a little bit scary. Gotta set up. Get ready for this coming in. Nice shot there. Dealing a lot of damage. Gonna get to work on this Nidus. If he gets the Nidus, oh my gosh, it's so low. He's gonna go for it. Does get the Nidus Canal. Nidus Canal going down is huge. There's the big storm on all the drones in the mineral line. Bunch of Lurkers and Lings coming up from behind. But with the army on the high ground, it's really hard to deal with. He loses the Reaver, and he loses the Archons as well. Looks like the base is going to end up falling here at the end. Wait, where's the observers? There they are. Observers here on the left-hand side. Hatchery will fall. Is this actually going to be Soma losing the game here? Maybe taking it a little bit too casually. Approaching this a little bit too casually. May end up falling in this game. He's dropped down to 90 supply. Just below 100. We'll be finishing up these extra upgrades now. +3/3, finally going to come online. But I really do feel like it was the move down to low ground too prematurely that hurt him very badly. And gave this potential win condition to the Wiko Protoss. He's going to come over here, try to take this hatchery. I don't know about this. I feel like getting the Nidus on the high ground is more important right now. But he's going to try to just maybe come out and take this area. Hold this area down with Dark Swarm and Lurker. If he can hold this area and double expand right now, he's going to be right back into this game. But it's still a split map situation, which is hard. It's very hard to win against a determined Protoss player. Here we go, Plague. Not able to get the second Plague down. Doesn't have enough for Dark Swarm. Does actually need the Dark Swarm. Looks like he will get it down now. Has enough defilers here to make it difficult. Make life difficult for the Protoss player. Starting to mine out. Both main and natural have now mined out. Ling's coming forward. Plagues on this. Looks like he will be throwing out plagues on a lot of this army. Hydra's going to bail out from this bad situation. Double Reaver coming forward. This base is pretty well mined out, but you still want to keep the hatcheries alive. The hatcheries are important. Hatcheries are going to be critical. Oh, nice dodge there. The Plague only hitting the shuttle. You really need to get Plague on these Reavers if you ever want to take them out. And he tried very hard to get that, but excellent dodge. Excellent move from the Protoss. Here, the bases are coming online. This is still a little bit dangerous, though. You know, you've got this big defensive line out in the front, but that leaves very little to defend here from the air. And, you know, quick Reaver drop could end up killing a lot of what you've got in that base. You need some defenses in the air here. Some Scourge. Maybe some Hydras as well. Defiler heads out and looks for the Plague, but not able to find it. Drops may be coming through. Can he get some big probe kills? 62 workers. Going for the drop now. Not a lot of probes here. Probably won't get too much. Hydras and Lings in the middle. Good to be roaming like this because you might have an opportunity to snipe a shuttle. Suddenly the Hydras appear. And you gun down a shuttle quickly. That can be quite good. Looks like the Reavers walked over and took a lot of damage from those lurkers before eventually getting in range and or getting some vision and actually killing them off. Killing a few observers here. He got the Plague on the Reavers, which is important. Lings and Hydras can come up and flank that now and maybe get that kill. Even just a small group of Lings can actually kill this very quickly. Kill these Reavers very quickly. Occasionally, you can get those quick kills. Lurker over here. Does end up going down again. Down to just 56 drones to 62 probes. Lot of Reavers coming up right now. A lot of Reavers coming. Many Hydras being produced. Ready to start to fight this. Mostly Archon and Reaver army. Just a few Zealots and Dragoons mixed in to kind of fill out the damage types. And now pushing through this last bit of Lurker contain or Lurker defense. He's not got anything over to the north. Nice dodge there. Once again, Reavers stay alive. He's making it through. He's actually going to get in here. Oh my goodness. He's actually going to beat Soma, I think. Soma's slowly falling apart here. Trying to dive on top of these Reavers. Just can't quite make it happen. GG. There it is. He gets them. Unreal. Managing to take out Soma in the late game. I didn't think it was possible, but he made it happen. Protoss, still a very strong race at the end of the day. When you've got Reavers, when you've got Archons and Dragoons, Zealots en masse with a few High Templar mixed in. Very hard to approach that army. Very hard to defend against a push like this. One tiny mistake. Tiny mistake, I think, was the reason he lost this game. He was playing it very, very well up until that moment. Not making any errors, just being very defensive and allowing the game to get to this point. Like, usually we see Soma just try to end games really quickly, put on a lot of pressure. This game, he was quite deliberate in the way he was playing. He was trying to get into this late game situation, and he did it pretty successfully. I think also missing the Zealot up here and not, you know, getting a drone to take the fourth a little bit faster was also a bit of an error. But other than that, really solid play. One big mistake, kind of cost him this game. It's the way of the world, guys. Even the best pros in the world can lose if they take the foot off the gas, if they don't play 100% seriously. Protoss player can end up taking them down like this. We've got one more game. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, if you've made it this far in the video, definitely hit the like button. Leave me a comment as well. Help me out with the algorithm. I appreciate it. We're doing all right. We're hanging out. Who was this again? Made. That's his name. M-A-Y-D-E. Straight out the cafe. He's down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Made versus Soma, of course. Soma. Gonna be opening up with that hatch. Checking with the drone, making sure that no SCVs coming in. No 8 racks headed his way. And we'll be getting underway here with a 1 racks fast expand. I don't really know too much about Made. Other than his outfit is pretty cute. He's here in the green. And, yeah, all jokes aside, this guy is just a high-level ladder player. It might potentially give Soma a little bit of trouble. We'll see. Like we saw last game, a Wiko player able to take down Soma. It's not unheard of. It's happened before. I actually like to see it when players like Soma get a little bit behind, you know? In a game like this, they take a little bit of a loss early, and then how they recover. I find that gives me a lot of information. Like, it helps me to learn, like, what's the best way to play. Because when everything goes, like, nothing ever goes perfectly in my games, right? Nothing ever goes correctly 100%. And learning how to, like, recover, I feel like is a super good tool. It's a good resource to learn. Of course, learning build orders and all that is good stuff, and there's plenty of videos out there that can teach you how to do a build order. But learning how to recover from a bad situation on the fly, that is a real challenge, and not a lot of good resources for that aside from these games, these situations that these pro players get themselves into. And it can lead to some really great games. Here comes a naked marine push across the map, and this is going to be followed up with a factory. Could be a Valkyrie play. Maybe? Armory, so it's definitely Valkyries. Right? I don't see this being a mech game when we've got the academy coming up. No armory just yet, but he doesn't quite need to start it. Set up that starport first, and then the armory can start. Looks like these Marines went across the map, but decided better. Might as well head home. Sunk in here. Gonna prevent too much aggression. Soma, maybe like streaming or something, not quite on top of it. He left the Overlord down here for a long time. Didn't bring this over until pretty late on, but did cover all his bases by getting this sunken colony, right? He's like, I don't really know what's going on. I don't have an Overlord over the natural. I've only got 2 lings. Let's just make this sunken colony. Let's just be safe. And that really did pay off there with those naked Marines coming in. Could have taken a lot of damage, but doesn't. There's the armory. Totally blind going into just straight up Valkyrie. Super common. I mean, he did have the drone in the main for a while, but there could have been a Hydra Den in the natural that he didn't see, something like that. It's just a risk. It is a risk, but when you're at the higher levels, very rare that opponents will go for a lurker opener. It's just not that common because high-level Terran players are very good at countering it. Just with pure marine micro, at the higher level. The ability to split and just snipe down lurkers immediately. Stim and just run away. Just don't take damage from them. It's tough to really get anything done with lurkers. Valkyrie's gonna pop out here in a moment, and I think that he's well aware of that. So the Hydra Den does start. Same build from Soma. Similar build from Maid as what we saw on the side of Mihu. We'll see if he can stick it out as long as Mihu did in his game, or maybe even take a win. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like when you see a player at this caliber going up against Soma, it's almost like there's a timer. How long can you survive, rather than can you actually win the game or not. But such was not the case in our last versus Protoss game. Oh. Gotta be careful with these Valkyries. Yes, you need them to defend. You wanna... Gotta get some damage on these Mutalisks, but you gotta be super careful. The Scourge will dive bomb you instantly, and in fact, that will go down. Can't be taking those shots, man. Cannot be attacking like that. First Valkyrie is dead. Second Valkyrie is still alive, and the third will pop out here in a moment, but just makes this push so much weaker if you lose that first Valkyrie. Like, it's nice to get a, volley onto the Mutas, but was that really worth losing the Valkyrie? No, you need to get critical mass. Like, look at the health on these Mutas. Still very reasonably healthy, so absolutely not worth. 3 Valkyries, so much better than 2. It's such a big difference. And we'll see if, not the best move out here, but you know what? The Valkyries are going to come up a little bit later. He loses another Valkyrie. Just a little bit too good with the Mutalisk control is Soma. Just a little bit too solid. And the Lurker timing, of course, is on point. Lurker's going to be set up at each location, which will deny these Marines that are trying to come up this ramp. Like, you're just not getting up there. You ain't getting up there, my friend. It is what it is. Vultures and mines being produced. Now, this is something I've seen Flash do a lot. I think it's a pretty good way to follow up the initial the initial Valkyrie Marine pressure is to go directly into vultures with mines and just start laying them out all over the map. Just start setting them up. Set up the mines all over. Keep making Marines. He's going to be going for some Mulatto ships here. But just start getting mines everywhere. And Flash does this while transitioning into mech. Gets a couple bases up. The double expansion, the old double expand, and then immediately into more bases. Or into mech, excuse me. Mech transition. And he does it better than anyone I've ever seen. He is super good with that mech transition. Mines into mech. We'll see how Maid does it here. If he's able to pull it off in quite the same fashion. I would be surprised. Oh my gosh, another Valkyrie goes down. That's really painful. He sees the drop as well. This drop might make it in because there's no Scourge right now at this very moment. If he pulls the trigger right now and gets into that main base, maybe there's a shot. Maybe there's a hope. As the Lurkers come up, the Lings come up, maybe not. Like, yes, he did use all the Scourge on a single Valkyrie, but this many Lurkers coming up, like, you gotta jump back into the dropship, man. I can't believe he didn't. I can't believe he didn't bail out there, but okay. All the Marines die, the Valkyries die as well. Scourge popped out just at the right time. They managed to pick everything off. So you can just see Soma controlling the game so well, so expertly. He is for sure at the top of his game right now. Fresh off of that ASL victory. Just an absolute Chad gamer, Zerg player. Smashing through everybody on the ladder. Well, nearly everybody. We had some very good games against Rush, like I said in the previous video. Rush still showing that he is an absolute contender. Even if it's only on the ladder. Able to take down Soma a couple times. Marines bio coming up to the top left. I don't see a mech transition, guys. I think he's going full bio. Even though he went for mines a little bit, seems like he wants to transition this into a bio build. Oh, this is funny. Your old irradiated hatchery. You don't see that too often. There it is. He wanted to try and kill the drone with the irradiate before it built the hatchery. That's kind of crazy. I don't think that would happen in any world. But we got to see something a little special here today. You don't really get to see that little glowing hatchery. It hardly ever happens. Because irradiating a drone is just kind of dumb, honestly. People just don't do it. Drop ships. More lotto ships. Time to roll the dice, boys. Time to roll the dice. Stranger things have happened. Maybe he can get in there. Do some real damage. Oh no. Command center. Stays alive for now. Gotta send another drone. Gotta send another drone over there. The double expansion is underway. Drop. Plague. +1 attack. No armor right now. I mean, +1 armor's done, but you actually do need to start +2. Not sure what's going on there. He's definitely got the money for it. Seems like he just forgot. Which would be a real shame. To just forget that upgrade. Maybe he clicked it and it just didn't start. That's frustrating. Science vessels here. Baiting out the Scourge hits. So that the drops can get off. That's actually on the other side of the map, but you know what I mean. Here he goes into the main base. That's a lot of drones that just popped out, and not a lot of units right now are available to fight this. You could get a huge plague. No plague available either. Not enough energy on that to get the plague down. Go after the Nidus. You will get it. Nidus goes down. Lurkers come running up, but the Marine's just going to run away. As he should. Drops make it out as well. He could kill the Defiler Mound. Kill the Ultra Cavern. Ultra Cavern going down. Defiler Mound could be next. Spire is also a great target. Spawning Pool also a great target. Evolution Shaper also a great target. Although it's not actually starting anything. Okay, he starts it now. Look at that. That's funny. He actually reminded him. He's like, hey, click over here, Soma. Look, you're not even building. You're not even building your armor upgrade. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for shooting my evolution chamber. I didn't notice that armor hadn't started. Giving him a little tip off. Little tip of the hat from the Terran player. Letting him know. Letting him know that he missed out on that upgrade. And now that gets started. And he clears the main. Main will be cleared here. Still, there's opportunities now open. Like, he had to send a lot of stuff through that Nidus Canal, and now the Nidus Canal is dead. So, there's an opportunity here to break top right. Oh my goodness, he's getting in here. Hydra's made into lurkers on the ramp, but the fourth will go down. And all in the meantime, multiple bases coming up and more pressure on the map than ever. He's gonna get this Defiler Mound. Main might just break him after doing that drop into the main. There's not a lot going on right now. This Nidus is coming up. He's trying to get Ultra Cavern again. He's trying to get everything rolling. Lurkers on the ramp. Lurkers on the ramp. Need to get up this ramp. He gets up the ramp. Just barely makes it up here. Scourge come forward, but the Lurker's going to go down. 2 more Lurkers pop out. 2 more Lurkers run to the ramp. Can he actually make it here? He's left a little area down here where the Marines can actually run down. But you know what? Made not controlling properly. Will lose everything. Okay. So he holds on for now, but another drop into the main. Oh my goodness, this is so much Marines. So many Marines in this main base doing a ton of damage right now. Lurker burrows, but will be targeted down with that scan. A lot of drones falling here in the main. Going after the Spire right now would be insanely problematic. It would be so tough to deal with. Ultra Cavern, not gonna finish that chitinous plating upgrade. Denied. More Marines going down, or more Lurkers going down, more Marines falling as well. But Nidus Canal does survive. Vultures over here in the top left. Gonna be laying down some more mines, dealing with more Lings as they pop out. Looks like a misrally there, unfortunately, for Soma. Just rallying down onto that low ground. Not going to work out too well for him. Still has 51 drones. If he can get this 4th base back up again, maybe he stands a chance to hold this base too. That would be good. But he has definitely been thrown for a loop. And here comes another drop into the top. This might actually be the killer. Drop into top left. Maid going to get in here. Oh my gosh. He's not reacting. He is not reacting because there's a big force at his front door as well. And okay, here comes the Lurker, or the Ultras now. They've only got +1 armor. Oh my goodness. Watch how quickly these Ultras die. These Ultras are barely better than Lings when they only have +1 armor. Terran has +2 attack. No chitinous plating. No +2 armor. Everything goes down so fast. This base just breaks apart and falls by the wayside. There's the Nidus Canal getting taken down. And yes, he holds the natural over here, but the bases in the top left are gonzo. They are dead. I mean, that was not a moment too soon because +4 armor is now. He went from +1 armor to +4 armor in the last 30 seconds. And that was right after everything went down. That is so rough. You should really consume all these overlords and just throw down more Darkstorm and Plague. Just kill everything he can. The Darkstorm here, oh my gosh. You've got to be kidding me. Maid throwing it in his face. The champion, the ASL champion, is being BM'd right now by a lowly ladder player, a ladder Terran, who rolled the dice and got in there with a couple of drops, managed to get a win. GG, he taps out. Soma gets taken down. No way. No way that just happened. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Pretty solid drops overall from Maid. He's out the cafe and breaking down ASL championship level players, ASL champions. That is ridiculous. Again, get to see where just 1 or 2 tiny little mistakes, maybe a little bit of lapse in concentration, can cost you games against skilled ladder players. Again, being a little bit defensive as a Zerg player. It's not playing to the strengths of what makes Soma so good. His aggression is what really makes him strong, really makes it difficult for other players to stand up against him. But here he was playing a little bit defensive and ended up getting broken by the drops. Guys, if you enjoyed these videos, again, give it a like, leave me a comment. Shout out to all the members and Patreon supporters. Really appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.